Yo. Hello. This is Political Forum for Wednesday, August 27, 2014. We welcome today our guest, Alderman Toni Foulkes of the 15th Ward. Thank you, Alderman, for appearing on Political Forum.
Thank you for inviting me.
My name is Freddie Calixto. I am a board member here at CAN TV. This is a live interactive show brought to you by Community Service for CAN TV. We welcome your questions and comments for the Alderman Foulkes by calling us at 312-738-1060. During the next 25 minutes, we'll try to get as many of your calls as possible on the air. So let's just begin, Alderman. Can you please tell us a little bit about the 15th Ward and what kind of things are happening there?
In the 15th Ward.
Yes.
Well, first of all, the 15th Ward is a community where I've lived for 44 years of my life, so it's very personal, everything that goes on there. Prior to being alderman, I realized that it needed a lot of love, so I decided to run for alderman, and I'm very excited. I believe that you have to build a foundation first. So public safety is very important. Schools are very important to me. Economic development is very important to me to build a strong community. And it's been challenging, but we're making strides and we're making baby steps going in the right direction. So I'm very excited about that.
Awesome. Well, great. Can you talk a little bit about the human trafficking that you're kind of involved in?
Human trafficking.
Yes.
Yeah, so I got involved in human trafficking because I realized it happens in my neighborhood, not only in my neighborhood, but all over Chicago. And what people don't realize is that human trafficking is the second largest capital profiter next to drugs. And we have over 30,000 cases of human trafficking in Chicago alone. And we had never talked about it in City Council. So for the first time, we had a hearing, myself and one of my colleagues, and it lasted for 3 hours. It was amazing. So a lot of people think that, just 2 days ago, a young girl was almost pulled into a van. And she said that there was someone in there that was screaming out, that was duct taped. And that's a very, very likely that it was a form of human trafficking.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so it's very bad, and people need to be aware of it. And even, with school starting back, is very important that if anybody, have porch patrol. If you're at home, stand on the porch and kind of watch children as they go to school, because humans, it's slavery, and it's very profitable. So,
So what were some of the outcomes of that 3-hour-long meeting around this issue?
well, it got people thinking, and how do I explain it? Just as direct as I can. When you look at people that are selling drugs, and I'll just use crack cocaine, I use the same scenario down in Springfield.
Yes.
If you look at people who are selling drugs, and you have 5 bags of crack cocaine. Once you sell that 5 bags, your inventory is gone. But if you're selling a human, and this is not just girls, it's also little boys as well, then you can make profit over and over and over again. And it's been stated by young people that have been in and have come out that they may have to sleep with Johns like 550 a day.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so it's really important, and it's happening, not just here, but all over. And when the issue happened in Nigeria, it woke up the world to what is going on. So it's just not here; it is all over.
Wow. Great. Well, let's see. What other topics do we have we want to talk about? We have a caller on the line. Mm-hmm. Caller, what is your question?
Yes.
Yes. Your question, please. Hello?
Yes.
Do you have a question for the alderman?
I want to make support of it.
We're having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, I just want to call and support Tony. He's a great alderman. He's doing great work. I'm sorry, correction.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
You don't have a question for her?
No.
Okay, well, thank you for your call.
Thank you. I work hard.
We have another caller on the line. Caller, what is your question? Hello. Oh, I guess we're having a little problem. Oh, caller hung up. Okay, well, we'll try to hopefully call us back at 312-738-1060 with your question for the Alderman. We can talk about other topics. I know you were very interested in letting people know about the fire department's exam coming up.
Yes, yes, yes. We always talk about economic development. So I want everybody to know that the fireman exam is coming up in December, but you have to have your applications. Go to Chicago Fireman website. You have to have those applications in by the 16th of September. So you hear it, each one teach one. So you call everybody you know. And the good thing about it, because I think with the police department, you have to have 2 years of college. On this one, you do not. So please, everybody, don't be afraid. They don't know you when you go in there and take that exam. Just take it, and you never know what may happen. And that salary starts at $50,400 and something. So it's a good salary. So I encourage everyone to go in and take that exam.
Well, good information. Good. What about the situation with the police and tracking crime in the 15th ward? What's
Tracking crime. Okay.
Tracking it.
Well, okay, I have 2 districts.
Yes.
I have 7th and 8th in my current ward. And 7th is in Inglewood. So, I mean, we're busy. But one thing I can say at the last ComStat, and I'm at the ComStats meeting, myself and my chief of staff, we're always there. Either we're there together or one of us is there. We did not make the top 3. So they told the top 3 and we didn't. We did not make the top 3. And that's just not me by myself. You know, it's my constituents. I thank you, and I'm giving you a shout out because you're not afraid to say whatever you know what you want to say that's going on in your blocks. You know, there's 331 blocks in the 15th ward, and I can't be on all of them, but you see there's a change, and I hear your kudos that goes out to the police department in both districts. So if you all keep helping, then you know it's like a triangle. It's myself, government, police department, and constituents, and you see it's getting done. And we're not in top. We're not the first anymore. So that's
You're
saying
heading in
a
the
lot.
right direction.
Most definitely.
We have another caller on the line. Caller, what is your question?
Yes, my name is Albert.
Hi, Albert.
Yes, I'm just calling in support of Toni Foulkes. She's been diligently attending our meetings, and she's very diligent. And she's showing her place as a good politician, and where other politicians are falling short. So I'm just giving my support for her.
Well, thank you, Albert.
Thank you
I don't
so
know
much.
what places I show up. I don't know, Albert. Do I thank you, Albert.
He's a constituent.
He's a constituent. Thank you, Albert.
We have another caller. Caller, do you have a question for the Alderman?
No, I don't have a question for the Alderman. I just want to commend her for her diligence and the things that she's been doing in the 15th District.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Alderman Toni Foulkes.
Thank you.
Thank you for your call. Okay, we have another caller on the line. Caller, do you have a question?
Do I have a question?
Yes.
I don't have a question, but I have some kudos for Toni Foulkes.
Okay.
She's a good alderman. She's fantastic and right on the job. So I'm calling to support her.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for your
so
call.
much.
Okay, let me just remind our viewers you're watching Political Forum, a community service at CAN TV. My name is Freddie Calixto, a board member here at CAN TV. This is the live interactive show, and we are looking for questions from the audience yourselves. Please call us at 312-738-1060. Okay, let's see, what else can you talk about? The minimum wage.
The minimum wage.
Yes.
Now, with the minimum wage, I say I am the minimum wage person, past, present, and future. So I've always supported the minimum wage before being elected alderman, and I definitely support it now. And the fight for 15, I'm a major supporter for the fight for 15, and I know the governor is, pushing for on a referendum for $10 an hour, and that's great. And the mayor is looking at $13 an hour, which is even better. But I don't feel that if we had not started the conversation for Fight for 15, none of that would happen. So we're going to still continue to fight for $15 an hour for working families, because it takes about $15.85 an hour to live, not comfortably in the state of Illinois. So we'll continue to fight for that.
Great. Well, we have another caller on the line. Caller, what is your question?
Hi. Okay, I wanted to ask about something the alderman just said in terms of minimum wage in the city. And not minimum wage, but in terms of living wage and earnings. I've heard that the mayor has plans to push the minimum wage up to $13 an hour.
Yes.
But I've also heard more modest reports in terms of $10 an hour. Can you just kind of talk about what the official word is and where the city of Chicago is probably going to go in terms of making it more livable for its residents?
As I just said, I've heard the exact same thing you just mentioned. The mayor is at 13. The governor is at 10. So that's on a referendum. But the fight for 15 is still going strong, and I support the fight for 15. So it's a good start, but I'm still pushing for 15 for residents in the city of Chicago.
Okay. Caller, thank you for that question. What about other things that are going on in the ward, like the health clinics?
The health clinics. Well, I'm always excited. I'm always excited because we needed a lot in our ward back in 2007 when I started. And one of my promises to my constituents was that I would bring health care and within walking distance. And by my third year tender, I had bought 4 health clinics to our community, which I'm very excited about. I'm a major supporter of the breast cancer awareness. So, and I want people to know, we talk about gun violence, but there was, in 2012, there were over 230,000 women diagnosed with breast cancer. So you look at, we're losing our mothers and our daughters, and way more. If you looked at the statistics of gun violence and women with breast cancer, it's pretty big. And don't be afraid. I just lost a friend we buried last month that did not get any help and did not tell anyone. So she took that and she kept it internally, and we buried her last month from breast cancer. Yeah, it's serious.
It is.
If children lose their mother, what will happen? They might not can even stay together. So women and men, encourage your wives and loved ones to get those exams. They're free everywhere. And mostly men find. They're the ones who find the lumps. And men also have breast cancer as well. So it's serious. And it could be curable.
I think we have another caller on the line. Caller, what is your question?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I have 2 questions, and they really center around the Chicago youth. Number one, has the CPS, have the schools finally possibly turned the corner? Last year we were talking about all these kids going to new schools because we had so many 50-plus schools that shut down, and now we're hearing that graduation rates are up. That's what they're saying lately. So has CPS possibly turned the corner? And then number 2, the Jackie Robinson Little League team.
Mm-hmm.
Such a wonderful story. What does something like that mean in your eyes to youth in Chicago?
Well, in my eyes, I absolutely love the youth. I don't have children of my own, so I have now over 5,000 kids, and I absolutely love them. I am the executive vice president of Paul Simon Job Corps, and I also sit on the board for Embark, which is a after-school program at Harper High School. They get our kids out of the neighborhood. When this organization started, 67% of the kids that was in it had never been in a grocery store before. Now they're going to fine dining restaurants. We go to the ballet,
Awesome.
Broadway on Chicago. They realize that when they're downtown, they're not in another state, believe it or not. So I'm very active and very supportive of my youth. And Jackie Robinson, that just let people know, not only in Chicago, but the world, that our babies are not killers. And they're doing positive things. And I was out there, as a matter of fact, I couldn't sleep last night because I was like, how I'm going to be there? And I had 2 places to be at one time. I was up at 5, out at 7, and I was in that park at 8 o'clock to be there to celebrate. and I'm wearing my colors.
Yes, you are.
I'm wearing my colors, so I send much love and support to them. I'm very proud.
Great.
And the other question
About the schools?
About the
Have they turned the
schools.
corner?
The schools.
Has
All I can
CPS
say.
turned its corners?
All I can say, they can quote anything, and I have not checked that. But one thing I can say about me and the 15th Ward, I fought for my schools. So I did not have any school closings. I had one consolidation, and so I'm very proud of that, and I'm very proud of my constituents again because they were not going to fall for that, and I fought, and we survived it. So. I don't know. Really, I can't say if it's really changed or turning, because numbers can be,
Well, since we are on the topic of schools, and we know that next week is the first day of school for CPS, what kind of things are going on in the 15th Ward, or what have you done to prepare for the first day of school and for the new school year?
Well, we had last week we had the Inglewood Back to School Parade, but unfortunately it got rained out. But kids know that we love them. I'm always like I say, I'm always in the schools. I'll be there the first day. I'm always there. I'll be there when school let out. In the 15th Ward, we also have Unity Fest. That's in September, so that's our big day that we have our give away school supplies and things like that in my ward. So Unity Fest was started after 9/11 because 15th Ward is very diversified. We have African American, we have Latino, we have Polish and Lithuanian, and also we have the Muslim population. So after 9/11, we didn't want any hate crimes, and we haven't had any. So we all get together and celebrate our children.
When is that?
That is in September, the second week in September.
And where?
In Market Park.
At Market Park?
So
Okay.
yeah.
Great. We have another caller on the line. Caller, what is your question?
Hi, thanks for taking my question.
You're welcome.
There seems to be a movement for young professionals and leaders and activists to stay in the 15th Ward, and I'm just curious, what do you attribute that to?
Repeat that. I can't hear that. I'm sorry.
He said that there seems to be a movement of young professionals to stay in the 15th Ward. Why is that happening?
Because they have a wonderful alderman that knows that they'll fight for them. And that's great. And now I've lived in the 15th Ward in that area, I'll say the West Inglewood community, since I was 7 years old. So it's personal. It's personal to me. And when I moved there, it was a wonderful place to live. And so I'm just trying to get it back to where it was. So we welcome everyone to come out in the changes and things that happen on the north side. I have the constituents say, well, things happen on the north side that don't happen on the south side. Yes, we have that. But so I'm very excited. So get involved, come out, and we welcome you.
What about voting? What are you guys doing for voting registration and getting people ready to vote for?
We're always doing voter registration.
The next election.
Yeah, we are always doing voter registration. But the most important thing is that our 17-year-olds can vote. So get registered to vote. And the most important thing, you can easily register. Go out and vote. A lot of people come out, are registered. We're registered at 82%. But only about 20% come out and vote during some of the elections. They come out for president. We need you to come out for every single time there's an election. And I'll lead on to something else with that. Yes. When we have flooding, and we've just had it, and people think they come to our office because we're the first line of defense, and they want FEMA. FEMA is federal. So when they came to my office, when we had our major flood 2 years ago, I first had my constituents to call our state rep, call our senator, and they didn't leave my office. I gave them the number right there. Call them and tell them to reach the governor and encourage the governor to call D.C. for it could be a disaster area. So that's how it's important. So just not me. Also, you got to vote for your senators, your state reps, and every single election. So it's important, and people don't realize that. And you got to know who they are. That's another thing. Get to know us. And I have an open door policy, so there's no reason, and I come out to the house. So
That gives me, I forgot to put this out there. I want to let people know this is your information. This is where your office is at. Okay, so if you want to call the Alderman's office, there it is. Thank you so much. And do we have another caller on the line? I think we have another caller on the line. Caller, what is your question?
Hi, my question is about voting. I know that a lot of people, everyone has the option for absentee voting, but I don't know how can I sort of sign up for that or do it so that I don't even have to make it out to the polls. Like I can basically vote.
okay, you can call your ward committeeman. One way you can do it. You can also go online, and you can call the Board of Elections. So there's a lot of different ways to do that, and make sure you do it. And you can call my office.
And let me put this information on here. You can, let me turn this around, sorry. You can reach the Alderman, and here's her information, her office number, her website, her Facebook page, and her Twitter. So there's all kind of ways of reaching the Alderman. Great. Great. Thank you, caller, for that question. What were we talking about? What about farmers markets in the 15th ward? Is that something that's going on? Is that going on in your area?
Well, we started in the 15th ward, and I'm happy to say we have Growing Homes. And Growing Homes is the first organic farm in the city of Chicago, right there in the 15th ward.
Awesome.
So I'm a big supporter of urban farming and the gardens. I love that. So actually, again, I believe in Ward Beyond Boundaries. It's all about us in the city of Chicago. So those farmers markets have moved. We had it in our ward, and it wasn't doing as much. But, at Growing Homes every Wednesday, I don't want to mess it up, there's a farmers market. So come out, and they have very good collard greens.
And where is that? So
that is on 58th and Woods. And you can take a tour and definitely go on their website, because I'm always there. Definitely when they have an open house, we had on the table there. It was very, very nice, right in Inglewood, and we have like cooking classes and good organic foods and drinks, and it's just a fun place to be. And Inglewood gets kind of a bad rap, and there's a loving people there. I'm loving. And there's a lot of loving people in my community. And if you come out, definitely you'll see. Every year I have a bike tour.
Oh.
So people were out from Ravenswood, from Country Club Hills, and they took a mile ride. And they go, I say, it's not as bad as you thought. They go, no.
Awesome.
So it's exciting. We're doing a lot of good things.
Great. Awesome. I know we were talking about elections, voting, and you had mentioned that young students at 17 can vote. Can you talk a little more about that, and how does that work for the 17-year-olds?
Well, you know what? I have the Memphis Challenge students. They come in and intern. They intern during the summer, and they also intern during the winter. This time I had them, and I had a chance to sit down and talk to them on their turf. And then one of their main questions was like, how do we be politically involved? And I say, everything you do is politically involved. And I gave the example of, again, Harper High School. They needed a stop sign. And they said, because the cars keep going by, Alderman, that's political. So it goes through city council. They told me they wanted the stop sign. They got their stop sign. And they didn't know it was political. So everything that you want, if your school is getting, you don't feel anything is right, something is wrong in your school, you need more books, you need more after-school programs, all of that is political. So,
Awesome.
Vote.
So the 17-year-olds can get out and vote.
They can get out and vote.
Just like anybody else, and that's
right.
fairly new for the state of Illinois. Great. We're running out of time, so I wanted to thank our phone technician, Steve, for taking the calls. Is there anything else you want to talk about the 15th ward before we leave this evening?
I just want to invite everybody to come out and visit. The holidays are coming up. I have not only the Unity Fest. We have our November. We have lunch and for our November meeting. All is welcome. We also have a Christmas pajama party, and these are things that are coming up. So I'm inviting you to come out. And our Christmas hot chocolate and cookie jabbery And you can also get your flu shots, free flu shots. And it's really nice. And it's just an open house, and everybody's welcome. And that's in December at
Awesome.
my office. So we're all tight and close and lovey-dovey.
And there's the information again for the office. If you want to reach the alderman, these are all the avenues to reach the alderman. We're about running out of time here, and so I
Okay.
want to thank you, Alderman,
Thank
for
you for
being here
having me.
with us this evening, and thank all the callers for your calls. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.